Hello and welcome to Candle Brown, which is the eighth book of the series aimed at the young emerging learner, the teenagers that we know of. And we continue a series of, you know, decent work and economic growth, SDG goal number 8, along with quality education, SDG goal number 4. So this has been the underlying theme of the first four chapters, if you look at it. And this is a very exciting chapter called New Careers of 21st Century. The world of work, as it says, is evolving. Students are completely looking at a different workplace than what was 20 years back. And a lot of things have changed in that 20 years' time. Things like data science, artificial intelligence, blockchain, cybersecurity, so much has changed. A lot of emphasis since given to technological field. We thought we'll also speak about the idea of life sciences as in genetic engineering, biochemist, and this is a huge field to talk about. The idea in the first few minutes that you talk about an engagement class is ask them what kind of roles would they like to do. Imagine if there is a Tesla on a road, why would you need an Uber car to come and pick you up? There's so much that is happening in science and technology. So many students may be put off saying, oh, that's not who I am. I'm aesthetic. I'm a designer. Yes, Pixar's creating movies where they need storytellers. One of the most interesting aspect, a video that I did some time back, when Pixar did Finding Nemo, they only needed people who could do scuba diving and go in the coral reefs of Australia. So talk around these fields, talk around the idea, and every field they can either read in a class, they can discuss or feel that they would like to be part of it. In fact, cryptocurrency, the good and the bad of it, there is so much work in social media that you need social media managers. Every single company needs a social media manager. The old jobs, which doesn't look very exciting or lucrative, are still very, very popular, as in a chartered accountant, a tax accountant, an investment banker. So speak about these, but all of this combined needs critical thinking, problem solving, and lifelong learning. So essentially, what we're saying is, no matter what field you choose in, the fact that you will have to, have these aspects of learning is a very critical aspect. Now, we quickly move on to our learnings, as in what kind of learnings do we do. So point number one, 4.1 is job search. Let's say while we are creating a great portfolio, what are the qualifications required for someone to be in a field as simple as BE? BE as in engineer, right? Bachelor of Engineering. What kind of qualifications required to finish a grade 6 checkpoint? It could be NIOS, it could be Cambridge, it could be any other board. But very idea that we're looking into it, everything requires certain skills. So make a chart, ask them, and I always encourage my students to use the current books. There is no workbook that we ask for Candle. The same book that I asked them to use. So ask them to write down two things. One is the skill set they require. So what's an MTech and a high school student? What kind of skill set they'll require? If not, go to the first page, look at the 10 skills and just pick up one skill. But what qualifications you require otherwise? As simple as grade 6 require basic primary qualification that they have to be primary pass. Very interesting part is we add three more professions to our program and we say that, okay, what kind of qualification would a dentist require? An architect and a lawyer. Here you can ask them to make charts. You can ask them to design it on their workbook, on their whiteboards rather, and look at the path a dentist, an architect and lawyer will take. So all of them primarily will take the same goals till grade 10. Suddenly, a dentist would perhaps prepare for the NEET examination. So 11th, 12th, there'll be biology component, 720 marks. How are they divided? It's 630 for biology, 180 for physics, 180 for chemistry. Very interesting. You are learning something about NEET, but an architect student is a very different field that they're going on. They would perhaps need a little more designing skills, and a lawyer would be more of a negotiation, argumentative, rational learning skills. Can a humanities student, art student become a good lawyer, or you need something like a BCom, a commerce graduate? Ask these questions. Interview one of these on a Zoom call, on a video call, just from a class itself, like a quick call to somebody's parent, neighbor, a guardian who is one of these professions. It'll be very interesting to have these conversations in the classroom. 4.2 is more of a fun game. It's called the professionalism hangman titles. So what you do is each of them pick up one of these professions. Rockstar, oh, I would love to have them. And it's like the game that we all used to play. What is it? A thinking board, where you have to tell why are you more important than the others. A mother, perhaps emotionally she'll win hands down, but a school principal, who perhaps I don't know how popular your school principal is, it'll be a fun game. There's also something we play along with it, which we call as ask your friends to have 10 more titles, and you write them behind in the board, And others, so I don't know, as a person I'm playing the game, you put a title, let's say, example for the sake of it, I still call it CEO of a big software company. I have to ask yes no questions and guess my title. Is this a software engineering role? Who knows? CEO can be anybody. Is this a top end role? Yes. Is it like a role with a lot of acronym in it? Yes. Oh, CEO, fantastic. CFO, CXO, scientist, president. So you can play a lot of Go. But ideally, we need also, a farmer could be a profession for that matter, and we need to tell them. Bottom line, a good teacher will always create, you know, learning lessons where you say that all jobs are important. No one job is more important than the other. A fireman may not be someone you meet every day, but the day it's burning, you know who's the most important person in the field. The last part of this activity, 4.3, is basically work habits. Imagine there is a girl working on a computer and it can represent many, many things in this 21st century learner. What do you think is this girl, particularly in the picture, doing? Perhaps is she designing something on Canva? Is it a data analyst? Is she an entrepreneur starting her own business? Is she a student doing a school project? What do you think represents her? The possibility, as it says, is endless, and so is the fun around it. You can just pick up five more pictures from a Google search, or something that is around locally in your newspaper, and ask them to decode how does a profession relate to it. How does a teacher appear? There's a typical image of a teacher in a pant or a shirt or a sari. Does it change in today's time? Modern teachers brilliantly dress aesthetically. Zara's dressing can also be a good teacher. It could be a designer. How do you design a designer? How do you look like a designer? So very interesting activities. As we said, 21st century learner has possibilities beyond the realms of what we can think. And I hope we can learn this and make our conversations more interesting. And you will end up learning more about these young Gen Z learners than we started with. Good luck.